Hello everybody, this is Dr. Carmen Bryant and welcome to my YouTube channel. It is called Redefining Yourself, a program that is about overcoming narcissist abuse. I developed the program with women in mind because women were the ones that reached out to me. And of course, I'm a woman, and so I've had experience with the narcissist abuse. And so I share my experiences, meaning clinical, personal, and my understanding of mental health to put together from a lot of your testimonies or your stories and a lot of my experiences, especially meeting, treating, being with, and having life experience with narcissism. And so I share those stories. I also provide you with information, and I try to help you whether you're thinking of leaving or have left and are recovering from domestic violence, which this particular domestic violence that I'm speaking of is narcissist abuse. And so though it was created with women in mind, I do always say in every video, men go through the exact same thing that women do. It's just that the women stepped out and start talking about it first. Now the men are finally coming out. The kings are finally coming out and saying, hey, you know what? I'm not ashamed to share my story. I went through it too, or I have been with. One of the gentlemen said the wicked witch of the West is gone. And so that was a great analogy of what he experienced, and thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining, especially a lot of the women. There's more women on the YouTube channel than there is men, because I go check the statistics to look to see. But I am so thankful. I am so grateful that you guys join me on YouTube. To all the new subscribers, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for interacting with me. There's a lot of emails that are coming in, a lot of comments. And so at one point in time when the numbers were low, it was easy for me to interact with you one-on-one as you guys commented. But now there's so many comments, so many emails coming through. It's very hard for me to respond individually because I also have a, I also have a private practice. And so I do have clients that I see on a daily basis. So my schedule is pretty packed. So sometimes I can't get back with you guys, but I do read the comments. I do read the comments that you guys leave, and I try to go through them, as much as I possibly can. And sometimes I do have to go through and I'll pick, certain ones that I can respond to, but I'm not able to do it as often as I used to because my schedule is really packed. I know some of you have been asking about coaching and consultation. Let me know if you are interested in, again, my eye glue. These big old eyelashes stay on with glue, and so I apologize. And that's early in the morning too. But those of you that have been inquiring about coaching and consultation, I am a fee-for-service provider, so this doesn't come free, and so it depends on what type of investment that you want to make. I do have a flourishing private practice, and I do have clients that come and see me. I cannot provide mental health services across state lines. I'm licensed in the state of Washington. If you're in the state of Washington and you would like services, then please contact me and we can schedule an appointment in my office. However, across state lines, I provide life coaching. And so if you are interested in life coaching, and that I can do via telephone, we can do FaceTime, we can do Zoom, but we can have that one-on-one contact. It does come at a fee, because I am a fee-for-service provider. People that come into my office pay, to come and speak to me. That is a profession that I have. And so I don't want you guys assuming that, when you contact me and, the contact is becoming less and less because of the fact that the amount of people emailing me is becoming more and more people are inquiring about using my services. So if you are interested in coaching and are interested in a consultation, email me and let me know, and I will set up a calendar so that you guys can go and schedule yourself on the calendar. Register on the site, the platform that I have, to schedule an appointment with me so that we can do an assessment to see where you are. Are you fresh in the discard? Are you still in the relationship? Have you left the relationship? And let's do a consultation to see what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? What are you wanting to do? And I personalize each plan, and there are different packages that I will offer, and I will personalize each plan according to what your needs are. meaning that even though you may get a consultation to set up your program, what you're interested in, I will personalize your program for you. That includes whether we do webinars, whether we do the telephone webinars, and even training for you to get you beyond where you are at. So if you are interested, email me and let me know, Dr. Carmen Bryant at outlook.com, and email me and let me know that you are interested, and I will send you packages. I will allow you to to register on the platform, to schedule an appointment with me for a fee, of course. And those of you that are in the Dallas area would like to come to the Dallas area, my mentor and I are planning to be in Dallas with going to hear Mr. Quinn Holiday from Associate Direct speak, which is on March 30th. If you would like to join us there later on that evening, we are planning to do our own conference where you have the opportunity not only to talk about narcissism from a clinical perspective, but also to ask my mentor, who is the presiding prelate of Into His Chambers Global Ministries in the state of Washington, the headquarters, and she is over many churches and is a mentor, a life coach, a professional, a businesswoman, an extraordinary woman. Is my life coach, is my counselor, who helped me during the time like yourselves. And she will be there to answer questions for those of you that have questions to ask either one of us. Those of you that may not be able to attend, we will be offering the webinar or the webcast at a nominal fee as well, so that you can come in live and you are there with us, even though you may not physically be there. Some of you have been emailing me and giving me your contact information. This information is for me. I do not share this with any other YouTubers, but you send me your information, your name and your email address. Let me know if you're interested, and let me know whether you're interested in coming or you're interested in watching live, so that you can register. And we just want to get a head count so that we will know how to accommodate you. And please let me know. So today, and if you have not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Hit the bell so you know whenever I post videos. On Sundays, I come on live and I open up the forum so that you can ask me whatever questions you want to ask and to support each other. You guys have great conversations with each other, and you guys are very supportive of each other. And so I usually put a topic there. I talk about it for a few minutes, wait for you guys to come in, and then you guys basically, ask questions, and I am available to you to ask whatever question you would like to ask. Also, I have a professional Facebook page, which is Psychological Health Consultants and Services, and please hit the thumbs up. I do post videos on both, and I usually, once I'm finished, I post the videos on both. I also have a Twitter account. If you guys would like to join me on Twitter, it's Dr. Carmen Bryant, and I think it's 1. So it's $, which is, I guess, the hashtag, and it's Dr. Carmen Bryant 1. And so you are welcome to come follow me on Twitter. I usually don't have big conversations on Twitter. I just post the videos on there. But if you talk to me, I'll talk back to you. Also, I have a personal Facebook page. So some people are coming trying to befriend me on my personal Facebook page, but that is my personal Facebook page. And it's not to hurt your feelings, but I don't know you. So of course I won't let you come into my private world. So go over to my professional world, and you are welcome to be on that side. Thank you guys once again for following, and let's talk about this. Today's topic, let's talk about when you do the discard. What happens during the discard that you're the one who actually does the discard? Remember the last time we were talking about the discard, we were talking about when the narcissist discards you. But what happens when you finally wake up and you decide, I'm being abused? You finally wake up and say, this is enough, and you decide, I'm out. I'm going to do the discard. You really don't know the terminology because you're just, well, I'm not saying that you don't, but what I'm saying is that most people don't know the terminology discard. They just know that I'm out, I'm done, I'm finished with this relationship, I'm out. And you don't even realize you're dealing with a narcissist. Well, these are some of the things to expect on when you do the discarding. First of all, just like they've studied you, they've watched you, they've hunted you, they know things about you. They're arrogant. They think that you'll never leave. You can't make it without them, and it's really them. Remember, they have a very very fragile self-esteem, low self-esteem, and they're always paranoid that people are going to leave anyway. So that's why that is why they're always looking for fuel. They need fuel, just like Dracula needs blood, but they need fuel to fuel themselves, or they're going to completely either commit suicide or because that is the only way that they can survive. And so I think one of the questions from the viewer was, how do you know if you are the primary source supply? Normally you know that you're the primary source supply because you're the person that they married, they have a home with, they have established roots with you, you are the home base, you've got kids, they provide this, you have a home together. So normally the primary source of supply is the primary sexual partner, the family person, and you are the hub. Even though they have all these other sources of supply, you're the main one until they can find one to replace you that has more than what you may have or what you provide. So if you have a family with them, they live in your home, you guys live together, you are probably the main source of supply. While they have what's called side chicks or side dudes, so then you may be the primary, while there are all other secondary, I think it's tertiary or third sources of supply, different things, sex, money, material possessions, prestige, anything. So there are different people that play roles in their world. And so now let's talk about the discard. When you discard, first of all, just like you can almost, now that you can step out of the situation and look back, you can almost see when the discard was going to happen. They had already started devaluing you. You notice that they do give you the silent treatment. All of a sudden they don't come home like they used to come home. All of a sudden you don't get the texts like you used to get the texts. They'll disappear and then they come back. They'll find reasons to argue with you to get out the house. And the reason why they're trying to find arguments with you to get out the house, because they're trying to get to the other supply. And so a lot of times when women kind of pick up, like, I'm not even gonna argue with you, they get even more enraged because you won't play the game and give them an excuse to walk out of the house. And so they'll torment you and torment you and torment you in order to get out the house, to get to the new source of supply or another source of supply. And then remember, they may have pressure from the other source of supply, so they're all unkiltered because they're trying to get to the other source of supply. They just need the excuse to get excused out of the home. And so a lot of times, I know one lady said that the narcissist that she was connected with was a talker. And so they love to hear their own voice. They talk. So a lot of times men say women talk a lot. But if you've met a male narcissist, they talk a lot too, because they're always trying to manipulate. They're fast talkers. They're trying to manipulate. They'll take you one place, they'll take you to another place. You start talking about oranges, the next thing you know, that you purchased a car. How did I end up at the car lot? Because they're talkers, they're manipulators. They're always trying to get you off kilter. You pick up on something that they've done, you bring accountability, they switch the conversation back up. So they talk. And she said that normally what happened is when he gave her the silent treatment, the whole family was at peace. She was waiting for the silent treatment. Please give me the silent treatment. Please don't say anything. She said that was the only time that they ever got peace in the house, is when he decided to punish the family and give them the silent treatment. And so, sometimes that may not work in their favor. Everyone's like, oh my God, thank God he or she has finally shut up. And so, but you can almost see the discard. Well, if you can almost see the discard coming, you just feel it coming. They sense when you begin to remember we talked about the discard the other day. We were talking about why they discard. Why are some of the reasons why they discard? Well, one of the reasons why you may discard is you finally figure out this is a fool that I'm in a relationship with, male or female. This is not right. I refuse to be in this relationship. But they can sense when you finally wake up and start speaking up for yourself. Wake up and start growing up. They need someone that is emotionally weak, or, believe it or not, sometimes mentally weak, meaning that, you're a sucker for relationships. You just have to be in a relationship. You've had bad relationships. You might be a powerful man or woman. You may be a businesswoman, but somewhere in your heart is broken. You've come from a broken family. You may have come from narcissistic families, abusive situation. You don't know what it really is to be in a good relationship with anybody. And so they put up an illusion to make you feel like they're the best thing you've ever had. And so when you begin to wake up and realize, like, what I have is just garbage. This is horrific, and you start waking up, you start speaking up for yourself. You may have, they may be all about your money, trying to connect to get your money, male and females, because males can be gold diggers just like females can be gold diggers, and you finally decide, what, you are taking advantage of my finances. I don't have any accountability. I don't know what you're doing with it. Why are we always in debt? Why can't we eat? Why won't the family eat? Remember we talking about that yesterday. This is too much. So what I'm going to do is we'll get a joint account and do this to pay bills, but I'm going to take control of my money again. They'll fly into a rage because they feel their strength leaving. That is like a narc injury, because they had prided themselves on having control over you, and now they're beginning to lose. It's like their fingers are being pried off of you. You're slowly prying their fingers off of around your neck, and so they're trying to hold on to you. I know this kind of looks funny, but they're trying to hold on to you whatever way possible and maintain control, but you're finally growing up. So some men and some women the narcissist cannot handle when you grow up. They cannot handle when you finally grow up and you have that epiphany, or you have that, oh my gosh, you finally wake up and you realize that it wasn't you that was weak, it's them that was weak the whole time. And so these are some of the things you may want to expect when you decide. And this is one of our 5, some of you guys said, one of your favorite writers, Miss Shahida Arabi, who is also a life coach, and she wrote this in October, and this is on her thought catalog. And this is narcissistic rage. This is what happens when you discard an abusive narcissist first. And so be prepared that when you discard, you decide to go no contact, or you get out of my house and put him out, or put him or her out, if you're dealing with let's see, unless the narcissistic abuser had other sources of supply. So remember, if they had other sources of supply, they have to find somewhere to go. They don't have anywhere to go. If they have not secured a good source of supply, or if they haven't, because remember, everything is on their time clock. Everything is when they want to do what they discard. You don't discard. I make the decisions here. I make the choices whether I'm with you or not. And so if they have not secured a good primary source to replace you, they're off kilter. So you discard them. They're on a hunt. They have to find someone, and so they may find someone that they really did not want to be with, or weren't finished grooming to put them in a place, or to make sure that they had that source of supply secure. So now they're angry with you because you pulled the carpet from under them, and they weren't able to. They really had to. It's almost like in their minds, I had to settle with someone until I could find someone that is better than what I had. And so now they're angry. They become very vindictive. At first you may, they're going to stalk you. They may harass you. Let's see. Let's look. What does she say here? So they may have been grooming someone before you decided to leave, but hadn't locked that individual in yet. And so they're left blindsided by your departure. They weren't prepared for that. In their mind, they had never prepared. Even though you may have been preparing for years, and some people weeks, months, years, they never saw it coming. They never thought that you were going to leave, because that's how arrogant they are. I have you locked in, and you're not going to want to go anywhere. And so let's see. Let's look here. She said that he or she will fly off the handle when they realize that you one up them. So you got one over on them, which is crazy, because you're getting out for your safety, for your sense of your peace of mind, and they look at it as you got one over on me. You beat me to something, and you got one over me. So now I have to get you back. And so let's see. Scroll down. Put my little cursor closer. So this is why the devastation they feel at the loss of supply is not due to the loss of the survivor, but rather the loss of power that they once held over the survivor. They rely on supply, narcissistic supply, anything from the form of praise, money, gifts, sex, attention, validation, just like we said, money, esteem, or prestige. And so this is what they need to survive on a daily basis. They are addicts that zoom in on vulnerable targets, anyone that perceived to have high degrees of empathy and compassion, and exploit those targets for all they're worth, sucking them dry emotionally, physically, and spiritually. They use their victims as trophies to give themselves access to the victim's resources, status, wealth, the reputation of being with someone attractive or successful, as well as a social proof of their normalcy. Let's see. When the victims are able to escape their grasp without all of their resources being fully exhausted, or around the time when the narcissist is depending on another devaluation phase to feed himself or herself, that daily high, they become inexplicably enraged. So be prepared that they will become enraged because they're gonna hoover you, they're trying to get back with you. And so this is another thing that she said, the evaluation and Jekyll and Hyde hoovering. After the breakup, the character of the narcissist abuser can become disturbingly clear and dangerous. This is when that mask falls out and you find out the type of person that you were dealing with. And a lot of people are in disbelief, like, I can't believe that this person is really like that. And other people, like, they've always been like that. You just didn't see it. You have blinders on because you were in love. So your love blinded you from your wisdom, from your logic. But they actually begin to show you what they're really like. And it's shocking how they act, how they talk, the things that they say, the things that they say to you. Let's see. They may try to be remorseful, and what you'll see is the apologies, remorseful. They will confess to all the things that you accuse them of. They won't come up with anything original. Sometimes they may come up with things original that you're like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for him or her to say that for so long. That's because of the fact you've been waiting for them to say that. So they know exactly if they knew the right things to get in, they know the right things to come back. And so they'll do whatever they can to hoover you. So remember, hoover is from the vacuum cleaner hoover, is to suck you back in to their bubble, to lock you back down. But remember, they know now you've one up them. Not only that, they owe you, because you shouldn't have done that. They owe you. So when they get you back, if you go back, it'll be worse this time around, because now they have to secure you at other means. And I'm telling you, a lot of times what they do is they make these large purchases. They lock you into these big not leases, but like property purchases, businesses. They lock you in and entangle you to a point where you can't go, where you cannot leave them. It's like, I cannot escape the grip of that narcissist. Let's see. Let's see. Post-breakup triangulation. And we talked about this as well. Once the narcissist has finally secured a new supply, or if they've settled for a supply that may not be like you, of course, they'll want you to know about it. So they're going to post pictures. They're on vacation. This is the most wonderful person in the world. They'll even send to their children, they'll send pictures of them and the new supply, all lovey-dovey, kissing, waving, saying hello. And a lot of times the unsuspecting news source doesn't realize that they're being played and sucked into this game of hoovering. They have become a ignorant flying monkey. Ignorant meaning lacking knowledge, not stupid, but ignorant meaning lacking knowledge. So they've been sucked into this game with the narcissist while they're hoovering. But what they're doing is they become a part of the hoover. They don't realize that they're part of the hoover. So they'll do things like send pictures to their kids of them and the new supply, or a video clip where the new supply is waving, or they'll send gifts and make sure that the new supply sends gifts in their name or with their handwriting. This is all to try to torment you, to try to punish you. And of course, if you say something like, what, I moved on with my life, so now I can't have a part of my children's life without you, getting all ruffled. That's because of the fact they're waiting for you to react. They're looking for the reaction to see if there's still a open door there. They're looking for the reaction to see if you still care, and once you react to whatever, you don't send this, don't be sending pictures, and don't call, and they'll do anything they possibly, because they need to hear how you react. And so once they know they still have an open door, they'll just play that because they need your fuel, even if it's negative fuel. They'll triangulate the new supply. Remember, you have been smear campaigned to the new supply, and so as they're talking to the new supply, they only give enough information to play victim. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this is how I did, and I've learned. I went to counseling, and I've learned, I'm not gonna get a second chance with this individual, and this individual hates my guts and is doing everything to torment me and make my life miserable. And so all I want is another chance, but it's not gonna work with me and the old supply, because you're the only one that's giving me a chance. And what a game. The little violin, but the new supply falls for it, and so they become a defender of the narcissist. So now they got a flying monkey, and they're triangulating with you, because guess what? The new source of supply is now going to fight. A lot of times they'll fight on behalf of the narcissist, and so they'll reach out and try to torment you too. Make sure they send, because remember, they don't know you personally. They don't know anything. And some of you guys are thugs, and so they don't know that you're thugs, because by the time that and I mean that in a very loving way. Some of you guys are fighters. Some of you guys will scrap. Like the kids will say, some of you guys are scrap, some of you guys are fighters. But what you're doing is you're being more mature by being no contact. In your mind, hopefully this is what you're thinking, is like, you don't know me. You don't know me if you confront me. If you confront me, you're going to find out some stuff about me. So, and a lot of you went no contact, and you're controlling your behavior. You're controlling. The narcissist knows how you are, and that's what he or she wants to entice. They want you to go fight. They want you to make yourself look stupid. And so what they'll do is they'll get the new supply to poke that bear, try to get you to act out of character, to come look for the new supply, to literally physically fight this new supply, because that makes the narcissist look good. You got two people fighting over the narcissist. I must have some value. But and a lot of times the new supplies are doing it ignorantly. They don't know that they have become a part of this game. They don't know. All they know is, I'm going to defend my man. I'm going to defend my woman. I'm going to protect, because you were this horrible monster and you hurt them so deeply. And now you're hurting them through their kids, and they have no idea that you're protecting your children. But that's how they'll triangulate. But they're going to make sure that you know that new supply is in the picture, because remember, they're off kilter. And so now I have this new supply. So look, we're going to take pictures together. Look, me and this person loves each other. Look what I got. I got a new toy. See, you didn't hurt me. You didn't hurt me. Look, I got a new supply. Look what I got. Look, you were Cafe Grande, and now I have Starbucks. Look what I have. That's what they do. They're kids emotionally. They're the way that they really are on the inside emotionally, their emotional age, their developmental stage, and their mental stage is literally that of the child that was injured when they were young. You can meet them and they may be 50 years old, but mentally, emotionally, they are maybe at the age of 8 or 9 years old. Or you may be dealing with a adolescent or a teen, a teenager. So the way that they respond when they get themselves back, that, because you threw them off. So you caused a narc injury and pulled that carpet. And so they're off kilter. So now they're trying to, and once they do, now all of a sudden, remember that this new supply is being idealized. They're already, even when they get into the devalue stage, they're still going to use the new supply to try to hurt you and try to get you to respond. And what bothers them the most is when you don't respond. You don't have anything to say. You could care less. That is when you know you really went no contact. That is when you know that you really healed. So for some of you, you're going through the grief and loss process. Go through the process. Go through the process till the end. At the end of your process, you will begin to feel better. I want each and every one of you that are struggling in that, go look up the 7 stages of grief. Everybody doesn't go through all 7 stages the same. And there are some that are 5 stages. But I usually use the 7-stage model. But go through and look and see where you are. Some people keep moving back and forth from one to the other. Some people don't go through all of them. Some don't go through them in sequence. They're not in sequence. But find out where you are so that you can process through that stage of grief and stay no contact. Because I'm telling you, if you listen to me, it's going to get to a point where, just like when you lost a loved one through death or anything like that, excuse me for a minute, you guys, but if you have lost a loved one through death, there's still stages of grief that you went through when it got to a point that it was bearable again. You may think about them, you may love them, but you know that, depending on your belief, they're in a better place now. They're not hurting anymore. And I can go on with my life. I always remember them. I always love them and cherish them. But for some of you guys, you were in love with your narcissist. And so that is a person you'll always remember. You always remember the toxic stuff that they did as well, and how to avoid it this time. And you may always love them. Get rid of those pictures. Get off their social media. Stop looking at the new supplies social media and comparing yourself with the new supply. He or she is not better than you. Trust me. He or she is not better than you. You got people that are beautiful, then you got people that are even more beautiful, then you got people that are wealthy, then you have the extreme wealth, you have some impoverished, then you have severe poverty. You have people of all walks of life, and whoever it is that you will end up with one day, and hopefully it is a healthy relationship, that person will be for you. And so that is one person in all the millions of people in this world, and you just have to learn to go through that grief process, to learn to process that emotion, feel the emotions, get beyond where you are, to keep moving into the next stages of your grief. You will get to a point where, I am so thankful I went through this process. It was the most painful and hardest thing I've ever had to do. And as I think T. Maggie says, she sucks on peppermint. That helps her. She suck on a peppermint, girl. Go get you some lavender and stick it in both of your nostrils. Lavender in both nostrils, both of your ears, and suck on that peppermint. Whatever you have to do to stay no contact through Facebook, even when the new supply tries to contact you. Your best bet, if you're not prepared, is not to talk to her or him. What do you need to talk to them about? You go figure them out. Just like you had to figure it out, let them figure it out. Eventually they may get in contact with you, who knows? But by then, right now, you're still in your emotional stage. It's not time to talk to them, because guess what you're going to do? You're going to shoot them out of the air. And the one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to talk to New Supply and tell them, yeah, that's what they were like. Yeah, this is what happened to you. No, you let them figure it out. Let them figure it out until you are healthy. Okay? So let's see. The next thing, be prepared, smear campaigns and threats. I kind of integrated that when we were talking. Be prepared, they're going to smear you. One of the things here, if you discarded the narcissist first without warning, they are sure to be desperate to reframe the narrative about you as soon as possible. To their friends and to their family, you are the one that, he or she just wouldn't forgive me. They never forgave me. Well, there's a difference. You forgive a person, you keep doing the same thing over and over again. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. So you keep slapping me, or you keep, what else? You're a serial cheater, but you keep doing the same thing over and over again. So that is a choice. That is a lifestyle and a choice that you chose to live. And so how many more times are you going to forgive the person? That's letting you know the person doesn't want to change. They're comfortable with the fact that you're not going to go anywhere. And so, but they will change the narrative to their families. They will change the narrative to their friends. Because a lot of them have seen their behaviors or have gotten an inkling of it, but they've got to make sure that you are the bad person and they are the victim. Just be prepared, because some of you guys have to disconnect from the families as well. Let's see. This is, So they're going to change the narrative about you as soon as possible. This is because in breaking up with them first, you unintentionally exposed who they truly were, as well as the hidden nature of the abusive relationship, especially with the covert narcissist. Most people don't know that they're abusive. So you have inadvertently exposed that. Now people are going to know that this person was abusive, and they're shocked. Some people are like, I knew something wasn't right. And exposure is one of the narcissist's greatest fears. Breaking up with a narcissist threatens their very sense of security, because it could potentially rip off their false mask and reveal the true self to their harem members. So their harem, their other supply. So they're gonna begin a smear campaign even before any devaluation begins, by sneaking in hints to their family members or friends about your shortcomings or projected abusive traits. They'll take what they do to you and they'll tell people that you're doing it, and provoking you publicly throughout your relationship. Smear campaigns are often staged successfully when the narcissist abuser has access to both his or her harem group, as well as your social media. However, if you never introduce the narcissist to your friends or family, and if you are able to gain validation from within after the breakup, the smear campaign may be less effective. You guys go find support groups, find people that are going to support you, get your own friends, get your own tribe. This community right here, a lot of you guys are so supportive. Find people that have, so that it won't bother you as much when they actually smear your name to other people. Find your own validation, not through them. Find your own people that validate your story, validate what has happened to you, and can sincerely say, I believe you. I believe you. Okay, so hopefully this has helped you guys today. This is what happens when you do the discard and what to prepare for. So I want you guys to get up and live again. I want you guys to enjoy life again. I want you to go back and look and what were your dreams? What were your plans? What did you want to do that was destroyed when this narcissist interjected and stopped and halted your life and destroyed a lot of the dreams that you once had? Go back and do what it was that you had began, or you thought about, or that you dreamt about. Keep yourself busy. Go to the gym. Lose weight. Start a blog. You guys, people read blogs. Go start YouTube channels. Now, if you guys go on there and you talk crazy, I am not going to go and friend you. I will support you and subscribe to your channels if you are, if you have healed, but you're not on there and you talking crazy and embarrassing yourself. When you do it, you got to do it from a place of healing. But if you talking crazy and you sound horrible and you sound like a narcissist, I will not subscribe to your channel. Angie Atkinson, when I spoke to her, when I had like just a handful of people, she subscribed to my channel and she supported me. Likewise, I want to return that favor. Just like she did that for me, I want to do it for you guys as well. Start your channels. Let me know. Let me go check it out. And if it is valuable, you guys got to make sure you're professional. Don't put your business all out there. Don't get on there and start talking about everything that happened to you. Learn to use that wisdom to help other people. Learn to use that wisdom and your pain to help other people. I know what you're going through. Let me help you through this. Did you go through this? Did you feel like this? You know, what about this? Or what about when this happened? You begin to have a realization of the things that have happened to you that you can go explain to people. Why is it all of us have stuff in common? Because all of us went through the same thing with different people. You know, so it's easy to encourage you because I understand where you're at. I understand the different stages that you've been through. So you guys, just like she did for me, I would like to do for you as well. So when you guys create your blogs, when you guys create your YouTube channels, you know, let me know. I'll check it out and I will subscribe to your channel and support you as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, or go to my Facebook page, which is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. Make sure you hit the bell on the YouTube channel so you know whenever I post new videos and when I come live. I usually come live on Sundays between 8 and 9 o'clock. I'll try to come in a little earlier because I know everybody's on a different time zone. I am Pacific Standard Time, so I'm on the West Coast. So when I come on 8, 9, I know East Coast is 3 hours ahead. I know in different countries, 6 to 8, 9 hours ahead, 7 hours ahead. So some of you guys are already in your Monday by the time I come on. But make sure you hit the bell so you know, so you can come and interact and talk to me. I talk back to you. I'll start talking and I talk back to you. You know, you ask me questions and I am more than happy to answer your question. I do usually go live on Facebook, but I don't know what's been happening on Facebook. It's been kicking me off for some reason on my iPad, on my laptop. So if I can't get a good connection, then I'm also on Periscope. I am Dr. Bryant on Periscope. So I will come on Periscope as well, but I will be on YouTube though. So you guys make sure you tune in and email me. Let me know if you're interested about the Dallas, the Dallas weekend. Hey, it's 2 in 1. We get to see the awesome Quinn Holiday from Associate Direct, and then my mentor and I will be there, and you can ask any questions, you know, dealing with the spiritual aspect of narcissism, even to the clinical aspect of narcissism. And we have other dynamic women that will be there who are also domestic violence advocates that can provide, you know, even though it may be in the state of Washington, she has a lot of knowledge, when it comes to resources to help kind of guide you and direct you, even though you may be in a different state. But please, you know, join us. You'll get to see my tribe. You know, if they travel with us, you get to see the tribe that I'm with and the support system that I have. And my mentor is a phenomenal businesswoman, senior pastor, and has churches underneath her, men and women alike, who she life coaches and counsels. Phenomenal lady. You guys have to meet her. You have to meet her. Thank you guys once again. As my friend always says, go and be great.